Abusia, the NDC omo policy ba kwa de buy no the ORA, the operation recover all loot for no abusia wan start omo adwuma na abusia within 1 day omo ye adwuma no abusia omo chirema Ghana lost over 8.8 billion in 2023 alone abusia eno no over 400 NPP frosted cases received so far in just a day abusia yentie Ura oku jato abrakwa na enu masem okupi motivate na yamra
platforms 0800 900 111. That's the toll-free number. And will you believe we've received over 400
just within 1 day?
Within 1 day, over 400 cases with documents, evidence attached.
Via the toll-free.
The toll-free
0800
900 111.
You've received 400.
Over 400.
Over 400.
Yes, I think it was 415. You know, as when we had a meeting yesterday.
In a day.
Yes, in a day. And then we also have the website www.oralgh.org. And then the email, those who are using email is public.
So you receive some emails.
Yes, we receive emails. Yeah.
And some
yes.
information via your website.
Exactly. And which we are processing. We looked at the analytics, you know, yesterday. So the email is public@oralgh.org. So oralgh.org is the website. Public@oralgh.org is the email address, and then the toll-free number is 0800 900 111.
I see.
And it's such a beehive of
So
activity.
what's the duration of, let me deal with this. What's the duration of your committee's work?
So very limited duration within this transition period until such a time that the Attorney General is appointed. So you remember President Mahama said that within 14 days he will announce his cabinet, and then he will go to Parliament for the necessary vetting, approval. As soon as the Attorney General takes office, we'll present our report. So it's a very limited, narrow.
About a month?
Yes, I mean, just about a month. Okay. And then the Attorney General would do the sifting, the sorting out. Which one he will handle himself, those that will go to OSP, EOCO, CID, and what have you. Now, we all know that over the last 8 years, the Corruption Perception Index indicates that President Akufo-Addo's best performance is President Mahama's worst performance. We have just been on the decline, and the CPI is very clear.
No, that's yes.
Then you look at the Auditor General's report. In 2023 alone, this country lost 8.8 billion Ghana cedis. And the Auditor General made a significant observation that, look, most of these irregularities, these infractions, these corrupt cases are recoverable. That is what the Auditor General said. He said they are recoverable. So this justifies Operation Recover All Loot. The 8.8 billion loss in just 1 year,
can be recovered.
Last year, can be recovered. It's in the 2023 Auditor General's report. Now let's come to what was the climate. And I have listed here just 30 of the scandals that rocked this country. That, I mean, as we speak, we are still in shock. You remember the banking sector cleanup? Eventually, we got to know that over 25 billion Ghana cedis was spent. And yet, after spending that 25 billion Ghana cedis on a problem which independent analysis revealed that we should not have spent more than 12 billion, we still have people who have not been paid, people who have not had access to their savings in these banks. And even how it was done, the opacity, the favoritism and all of that. This is a matter which is worth investigating. We must go into that. 25 billion Ghana cedis. Imagine what it can do for our country. You know, then you remember the luxurious presidential private jet travels, which are exposed. We have in this country a presidential jet in pristine condition, ordered by President Kufu, arrived during President Mills's tenure. He used it without complaining. President Mahama used it without complaining. Suddenly, Akufo-Addo comes to power and he says that it's not luxurious enough. And you remember all my questions in Parliament. They refused to respond. When the National Security Minister came, he said, oh, look, these are national security matters. We still don't know, you know, who the contractors were, how it was procured, the procurement processes and all of that. And from the tracking that I did, over 100 million Ghana cedis was spent on that really ostentatious, extravagant, profligate, sybaritic, adventure. Yes. So that is a matter that we must do.
This 239,000 euros was the cost of the aircraft BBJ3 that was bought for the presidency?
Yes. No. This is the private jet,
The private jet.
which was used. That was his favorite one. The
BBJ.
Yeah, the BBJ3
And it cost how much? 239,000 euros
for an hour.
for an hour.
For an hour, yes. That's how the taxpayer was
239,000 euros an
was saddled. Yes, an hour. Yeah.
I see.
Then you have the infamous National Cathedral, $58 million. Ghanaians are asking questions. $58 million, and all we see is that sinkhole, the world's most expensive pit. At the time, the exchange rate over 339 million Ghana cedis. Ghanaians are asking questions. And remember that there is now a Shraj report after my complaint. Shraj confirming that this whole project is illegal. Read page 152, 153 of the Shraj report, saying that this whole project should be stopped immediately. It's illegal. There has to be a forensic audit. We must retrieve our monies. So nobody can say we don't have justification in this country for oral. $58 million. Imagine what $58 million can do. Then, this $58 million, you have somebody like Carrie Summers, who is cooling off in America, keeping her $6 million. He said he was going to raise funds for the National Cathedral project. This doesn't happen anywhere.
How much funds has he raised?
Nothing.
Ah.
And yet it's, yes. And you see, what happens in the industry is that when you raise the funds, then you are given a commission. It's only under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government that he was giving money upfront to
So
go
you
raise the
think he
funds.
has not raised
He hasn't raised
$1 million?
anything. They came to Parliament. We asked them to account and tell us all of what has come
So
in
what was he paid the $6 million?
to go raise funds. He says he's the CEO of the Nehemiah Group. So all of those monies have to be retrieved. We need to recover all of that. Then the inflationary pricing with David Ajayi. And you see David Ajayi suddenly under the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. You remember the architects of our country had to come to all of them, wrote a petition that why, since you came into office, everything David Ajayi, everything. And he's so expensive too. And a lot of times he's just single source. National Cathedral, he was single source under emergency provisions. Abuse of the procurement law. So David Ajayi alone, National Cathedral, the Marine Drive project, the Trade Fair project, Du Bois Center project, the new chambers that Professor Okoye wanted to do. It was him, everything him. So all architects of Ghana wrote a petition. That why? So now Ghana has only one architect. So all that inflationary pricing, extortionist pricing which he engaged in, questions have to be asked. The abuse of the procurement laws. So National Cathedral is a can of worms. Look, and what makes matters worse, still on National Cathedral, are you aware that as we speak, 32 months now, the National Cathedral Secretariat, they are still receiving salaries. And we intercepted evidence from the payroll system of our country. Even as we speak, if we don't stop them, end of December, the National Cathedral Secretariat will still receive their salaries.
Their response and
And so far, over 2.2 million Ghana cedis has been paid to just 3 people at the National Cathedral Secretariat, and there are more workers.
Well, Reverend Dr. Joyce says the fact that there's no construction going on doesn't mean that there's no work going on at the Secretariat. They have to be paid. You had that response, didn't you?
And it's you see, their impunity. That is why they've suffered this humiliation. You know, she was a member of the campaign team, Bawumia's campaign. I'm not
She was a
surprised.
member?
Yes, you didn't see the list. She was on the advisory group.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not surprised that the Ghanaian people have punished them that way. Who, if you are using your private resources to do a construction and you come into some difficulty, you suspend the project, will you keep paying the workers at the site? Will you keep paying them?
It says it's a
You
contract.
know,
It's contractual. There's a contract in place.
There's no contract. These are secretary staff, political appointees.
Okay.
Political appointees just engaged. They should have been laid off.
I see.
You know.
Let's
Then you have the almighty $108 million